Hello, and welcome to militchronicle.com. Did Saudi kings sell Palestine? Truth versus lies. A fabricated statement attributed to late Saudi King Abdulaziz Al Saud is being circulated on social media. This forged ambiguous document is in a very poor unverifiable handwriting. It was first published by Al-Nahr newspaper on July 20, 1991. Haraz is a dubious anti-Saudi newspaper. It claims that King Abdulaziz said, "I, Sultan Abdulaziz, concede and acknowledge 1,000 times to Sir Percy Cox, delegate of Great Britain, that I have no objection to giving Palestine to the poor Jews, of even to non-Jews. Let the record be set straight. There is no historical instrument, historian, history book, or signed papers, that document this claim. Nor did Britain ever claim to possess such classified signed documents. It is an outright lie." Jewish migration to Palestine started in 1492, when Spanish King Ferdinand II of Aragon and Queen Isabella I decided to expel Jews from Spain. Some 40,000 Jews migrated to Palestine Levant under Ottoman rule. Yes, you heard it right. Under Ottoman rule. In 1860, the first Jewish neighborhood of Mishkenet Sonanim was built outside the walls of the old city of Jerusalem. Then in 1870, Jerusalem gathered an overall Jewish majority during Ottoman rule in Palestine. Further in 1881, first wave of modern Jewish migration to the Ottoman-ruled Palestine, known as the First Aliyah, took place, in which over 35,000 Jews migrated to Palestine. Interesting thing here is, King Abdulaziz was only 6 years old in 1881. Any sane mind should ask, how could a 6-year-old Abdulaziz Al Saud give a no objection certificate and approval to a 17-year-old Percy Cox for an apparent Jewish migration that started years before they were even born? However, during 1904 to 1914, around 40,000 immigrant Jews from Eastern Europe arrived in Palestine. This migration was called the Second Aliyah. Members of the Second Aliyah included David Ben-Gurion. In 1914, at the outbreak of World War I, the Jewish population in the land numbered 85,000. All this Jewish immigration to Palestine occurred long before Arab countries came into existence. What did Saudi Arabia ever do for Palestine? A glance at Saudi perseverance, support and magnanimous efforts for Palestine defines kingdom's enduring stance. In 1935, Saudi Arabia first tabled a resolution for Palestine in London Round Table Conference, under the supervision of King Abdulaziz Al Saud. Sir Percy Cox was alive then. Then in 1943, the kingdom established its consulate general in Jerusalem, in Palestine. Further in 1947, Saudi Arabia voted against the partition of Palestine at the United Nations. And in June 1967, donation campaign and kingdom collected over 16 million Saudi riyals, that is $4 million. In 1978, during Baghdad Arab Summit, the kingdom announced a total financial aid of $197,300,000 for 10 years, that is between 1979 to 1989. In 1987, during Algeria Arab Summit, the kingdom allocated a monthly financial aid of $6 million to the Palestinians. In the same year, during the First Intifada Fund, the kingdom presented a sum of $1,433,000 and $2 million to the International Red Cross to buy medications for Palestinians. The prime years like 1994, 1995, 1997, and 1999. Kingdom donated $300 million through the Saudi Development Fund to the Palestinian Development Program. In 2007, over $39 million from Saudi Arabia was donated to rehouse 3,500 Palestine refugees, in 752 housing units. In 2015, Kingdom's monthly aid to the Palestinian Authority's budget, raised from $14 million to $20 million monthly. In 2016, Saudi Arabia donated $59 million to the Palestinian refugees. In the same year, Saudi Arabia has contributed more than $500 million to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees. Historical statements of Saudi rulers in favor of Palestine. In 1935, Crown Prince Saud made a touching pledge, addressing the Palestinian crowd in a firm sonorous voice. By Allah, we will never bid Palestine farewell as long as blood is throbbing in our veins. In 1937, Prince Faisal, standing in Palestine, said, "My father, King Abdulaziz, has sent me on this mission, and I am happy for two reasons. First, I am happy to visit Al-Aqsa Mosque and pray in it, and second, I am happy to meet these revolutionaries to reassure them that their efforts will not be futile." Then in 1984, King Fahd said, "The call of Al-Quds is still resounding in our ears. The enemy is still continuing its inhuman acts and tyranny, bloodletting, killing of the innocent and wreaking havoc." Saudi Arabia, under King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, are dedicated to achieve a fair solution for an independent Palestinian state. Unfortunately, a lot of false propaganda and malicious efforts are made against the kingdom, to make it look like an enemy of Palestinians. While Saudi Arabia has always stood for fair, and a valid two-state solution, where both the Palestinians and Israelis live in peace and with coexistence. You were listening to militchronicle.com. Stay tuned and connected. Thank you.